Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Reckonist. Welcome to Football Manager 2020, and it's time for something a little bit different. I have spent the last few hours logging averages, averages across the best leagues in Europe. Yeah. And it was kind of done as a little project for myself. I've always been curious to find out which league is the fastest league, which league has the best technical players, which league has the best passers, which league has the best finishers, etc. There is a comparison inside the game for a league between the clubs in that league, but there isn't a comparison, as far as I'm aware. And if there is, I've wasted my entire time between each league differently. And so I've manually set one up for you. Excellent, right? Okay, so what I've done is how I did it. I started off a brand new career and I put no default database on there. However, there is a small league update which makes the game more accurate when the game came out. So this was probably around November time. So that's transfers up to November. It's 554 changes. That could mean anything, but it shouldn't make any difference to the actual results. So if you're going to go off a default database, your numbers will be different, but not enough to make any kind of difference. That makes sense. Next stage was to pick the leagues. Which leagues are we going to test? I went with the League One in the Bundesliga, Serie A, League One, the Premier League, Liga Santander, and then I went to Portugal and Holland. And apologies to anyone who thinks their league should be included. These are the ones I've chosen to do the comparison with. So yeah, that was it. I put do not add key staff and do not add players to playable teams. It shouldn't make any difference anyway. And I started on the 8th of the 7th, so late in the preseason of England. So we all had the same start date. Let's go and have a look and see what happens. Okay, so you find us here at the start of the new game. I'm going to use my manager, and what I'm going to do is add myself as a manager to a club in every one of those leagues through the magic of editing. So here we are. I am now a manager of every single club in that league, or one club in that league: Arsenal, Lyon, Leipzig, Wolfsburg, Ajax, Leipzig. It doesn't matter who. Basically what I did is I went into the league. They went into England, for example. I went on to the team report. I went on comparison, and I made a note of what the average is there. Not the highest or the lowest, the average. So 26.44 is the average age in England in the Premier League, and 182 centimeters is the average height in the English Premier League. 76 kilograms is the average weight in England. You see, you get the point. I went through the general, and then I went through every physical, mental, and technical. I logged them all, and then I moved on to the next league and repeated the process. So team report, comparison, general. There might be some slight variations depending on, I don't know if you've got any other leagues put on, if those leagues have already had transfers done on them on the default database, if you've got any slight changes to the database that I have. Some of them will be relevant, and some of them won't be relevant to the clubs you've taken over to compare. But basically, doing that has resulted in this table here. Yes, it's resulted in this table where I have, well, as you can see, I've listed all of those nations that we tested and their averages, and then I scored them using a point system. And ultimately, this point system has come up to this: Spain is the best league based purely on the attributes of the players in the top division. Only just, though. England very close by second. I think if I did a different points thing, it'd be whatever. This is basically it. Spain, England, Germany, France, Italy, Portugal, and Holland way behind, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, Holland? That should be the Netherlands. I think that's probably the Netherlands, right? Yeah, I'll change that. Netherlands. Okay, so, yeah, so what did we learn from this? Well, I have learned what I wanted to find out, exactly who is, for example, the fittest league in the world is in Europe is England. The 13.91 is the average stamina rating. 13.91 is the average stamina rating. The lowest stamina rating is in the Netherlands of 12.01. Who has the oldest average age? It's Spain, 26.57 years old, and the youngest, as we probably would have guessed, is the Netherlands at 24.4. See, there's all sorts of little useful bits here. I've also put in the general information, which is 62. That's £1,000 per week. 62,000. Next paid is 42,000 in Spain, etc., etc. Interesting things that I've noted. Germany is the fastest and the fittest league. The strongest league is France. The average strongest play. The average strength result is France. A couple of things did stand out. Italy is the best aerially. I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have thought that at all. It's also the most aggressive league, and yeah, that's an interesting stat I thought. And they're also the best headers as well. So if you're gonna play or want to play aerially, Italy's probably the place to go. Or if you don't want to play against aerial teams, Italy's probably the best place to go. Bravest England, yeah. As you can see, you can go through the list itself. I've put it down. A link to the Google Doc down in the description there. But basically, if you collate all this information, it results in this table, and it's very close at the top. But Spain is the best league based on the database that I was using. And I hopefully somebody else other than me found some of the information here useful. It took far too long and took 2 or 3 attempts before I figured out exactly how to do it the most efficiently. So by being inefficient, I learned how to do it efficiently, which I guess is a good result in the end. Yeah, there are some interesting bits on there, and find them out yourself. What exactly you were surprised by? Let me know in the comments exactly what you do. So that's it. I've done this for you. I hope somebody else other than me finds it useful. If you did find it useful, why not leave a comment? But again, thank you very much for this. Thank you very much for the Patreon supportage over this week, month, year, even so far. It's been absolutely fantastic, and it's resulted in things like this, a physical thing you can look at and learn information about. I'm quite proud of it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.